Hello, and it's finally episode 6. Hi, I'm Mike Tolliver, and I own StanceWars, and it's Tuesday, which means it's time for me to do another blog, vlog, whatever they call these things. And I thought I would just quickly start out this morning and just chat a little bit and tell you what's going on in the world. I'm sure that you've heard by now. Obviously, there's a huge tragedy that happened in Las Vegas. Absolutely, painful in my heart for that. Vegas is a special place for us. I've probably been, I don't even know, 40 or 50 times. We've been doing business there for 10 plus years. StanceWars has been there. I think this will be our 4th year. I've been there for many other events. I've been to SEMA for God knows how long. So it's just really hard to hear such a thing. I've always felt safe in Vegas. I mean, even running around the strip at 3:30 in the morning with $1,000 in my pocket, I've never, ever had a security issue. I did have a comment or two. People asked, "Are you still going to do the show?" Of course. Anything to support the town, I would totally do. We know a lot of locals. I know a lot of locals in the car scene. That's totally one thing. But I know a lot of other locals that with business and that kind of stuff after literally doing so much business in Vegas for so many years. So that's kind of a somber note to kind of start things. The next thing I wanted to do is I'm going to switch this thing around really quick, and I'm going to show you guys, because I got Houston coming up, so boom, boom, if you're in Texas, or maybe you're in one of the surrounding states. Yesterday we popped out an ad on Facebook, and I don't know if it hit Instagram or not. I don't know. I'll have to go look. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to enter the top 100 or purchase a regular ticket. We implemented a few new things for Houston, but next year in 2018, you'll start to see the ticket site doing some changes that we've asked, and a couple of other people have asked. It'll basically, if you buy X ticket, it will unlock this new ticket. One of those things is definitely for the VIP after party. So if you bought a top 100 ticket, it'll unlock a upgrade ticket for you to be able to purchase. That's kind of a new thing. So let me flip this thing around and I'll show you guys how to do this real quick. Okay, well, this is our portal for our tickets. I can do it again here so it'll pop up the regular way. So it's tickets.thefote.com/happenstance. This is where all of our stuff is. In fact, 2018 is already loaded in here. You just can't see it yet. So if you came down here, see, I have another show. It's called Octobugfest. But let's click on StanceWars Houston. You guys can go along with me on this thing. Top 100 show entry. This is the thing you want to do if you want to be in the car show. This is a key piece if you want to be in the car show. These tickets are going to be open until probably the end of October. After that, we're going to have to cut it off and just let people do VIP or informal posse or something like that. So one of the first things you'll notice here that was something a little bit new, you can only do 2 cars. I'm tired of teams, one guy doing an entire team. It makes it very difficult for communication. So we've made it so you can only do 2 cars. Most guys only own 2 cars that they're going to show at a single show. So you go over here, you click continue. Then you have some options that you obviously can order if you'd like to order. I'm not going to do that for the purpose of this. There are some promo codes out there. You guys keep an eye out. You definitely could find one of those things. So what is the make? I have a Volkswagen. I'll just put in my Passat here. And it is a Passat R. What search size of him? I am 2X. I'm 2X large. My Instagram is it's not that. It's the _Mike_Tolliver. That's me. Whoops. It looks like I screwed up. It's hard to see with a camera in the middle of you. What brand are you? I am Art in Motion. I don't remember what they are off the top of that. Let's see. I am bagged. Why do we ask that? It's getting to the really difficult to find out, who's bagged and who's static anymore when we're at the car show. And we're trying to figure it out because we're trying to figure out who to give the best static to. So, what class do you think you fit in here? This car will go definitely in Best European. Can we post? Yes, you can post my stuff if you would like. Tell us about your coilover or strip brand. I have Airlift, and I have an Airlift as well. And do you have a URL of the car? I do not, but you do need to put something in here. So you can type just www.youtube.com. That's pretty simple, right? Let's see. Choose a vehicle image. Let's see. I gotta go find my photos here. Passat 7. Oh, wrong car. Let's see here. Passat Type R. Here we go. So I'll put that one in. I'll put that one in. I'll put this one in. Let's see if I can find one more here. I'll put that one in. How about that? Still in progress. Whoa, I can't spell, guys. You guys should know this. Still in progress, but working on the trunk setup now. How about that? So that's pretty simple. That's all you really have to do. Hit continue. It's going to ask you for a payment. So it's $50 into the show. It's a $270 service fee. And then you put in your information and blah, 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 blah. You put in your card, however you guys want to do it. And you take care of that. So that's pretty much how you do that. That's not that difficult of a situation. Most people are able to do it pretty easily. Let's go back here and look at a couple other things really quick. I'm going to pull this up here because we have a lot of other tickets that are on here. So let's just get past the regular stuff. We have informal posse. What does informal posse mean? Informal posse means that you basically just want to get a great parking spot and you get to get inside. There are some really neat things to go along with that. God, I wish I had the form sitting here in front of me so you could see that. But there are some really great things to go along with that. It's not as good as getting an IM VIP ticket. Now, this means you're going to park up front. And you're also going to get, you get a VIP parking, right? You get a t-shirt, and you get a goodie bag. And then afterwards, you get to go with me and the staff, and we're going to go to the hotel, and we're going to have free drinks and appetizers and that kind of stuff. That's a totally cool setup if you want to just plan on having a great experience. Now, the next thing that goes along with that is the Entourage VIP ticket. This is for the wife, the girlfriend, your best friend, and you want to go to the after party. It gets you a badge. Let's see, I think I have some jersey badges here. Let's see, look right here. Here's a jersey badge. Get you a badge. That means you get drinks. It means you get a goodie bag. And you get to take one of these things home, which is pretty dope. And then you get to have a good time afterwards with us, right? It's kind of cool. It's a good setup. You know, we also have some other things here like a media pass. These are really great. You get in early, you get to get some advanced scheduling, and you get a little media gift. I don't know anybody else doing that, but I think it's totally cool. So those are all the different ticket options. Those are for Houston, but those ticket options are all the same for every single one of our shows. They're all there. And probably around December, you guys will be able to come up here to, sorry, I'll go back to this link right here. Tickets, thefoat.com, Happenstance events, and we'll have all of our 2018 events up here. There might be a few surprises, actually, up there. And, you know, when you're up here, you can actually subscribe so you know about our events way, 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 way in advance. So, all right, I'm going to go back to my regular blog stuff. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, well, you know, let's see what else is going on. It's Tuesday, which means we're getting ready for Houston. I have a bunch of things I have to do for that. I also need to kick out the awards that got finalized and completed while I was sick over the weekend from 112 Design. I need to get those wrapped up and get those shipped off to Jersey for those three guys. Plus, we broke an award. Actually, Bag Riders broke an award. We're going to replace that award. And then we got to start working on the Houston awards and that kind of stuff. In fact, Tuesdays usually are total business days here at the office. That means I'm doing all kinds of stuff like running up to the bank. I got to do orders. I got to get things going on. I've already printed orders for the week for the interns. They're doing a good job. I got to really tell you. Michael, Jason, and Chewy have done a great job this summer, and I have not talked to Jason since he's come back from Japan. I really need to because I really love him to come back and do some work for me. I know Chewy has started school again, so I haven't been able to talk with him either. Michael isn't going to school right now, but he is working 2 jobs, so I usually do see him Wednesdays and Fridays. He's going to continue to work through the winter probably with us. He's a really great guy, and we're actually going to try and take him to Houston. We took Chewy to New Jersey, and I need to talk with Jason to see if he'd be interested in coming to something as well. Let's see. What else do we probably really need to start talking about and start thinking about? I need to start going on merchandise. I need to start working on this new layout. Have you guys seen the new layout? Let me pop you in a picture right here. Boom. This is going to be the new layout for Houston. And it's a great thing because this new venue is going to allow us, in fact, I'm going to hold on a second here. I'm going to bring this one up over here on this computer so I can see it and talk about it a little bit more here. It's StanceWars Texas 2017, the map, the big map. Okay, here it is. So one of the great things about us going over to Lone Star is going to be that we're going to have a lot more space. And this kind of goes with our future ideas. It kind of started with, I kind of touched on it in some earlier videos about what the future is and that kind of holds. StanceWars is going to be going towards a more of a multi-day event kind of situation. And the Lone Star is definitely going to lend itself towards that situation. I own a lot of other car shows. You guys might know some of those by now. Sophisticated Euro. I own a couple Bug and Bus shows. I own a BMW show, an E30 show, an old school show. And a lot of those are going to be coming on tour with us. In fact, I'm even wearing a shirt today from another show that I own, Sneakerhead Seattle. You guys know I'm a big sneaker fan. I did only one show here. Mainly because I didn't have the time, and I would love to get back into it because I haven't really bought any great shoes in a while. So it makes me want to get back into Sneakerhead Seattle. Anyways, getting back to what we're doing in Houston and the map, it's really going to give us a really good chance to actually have a great layout for multiple days. With the top 100 in the middle on our stage, NOS is going to come out. We also got, obviously Toyo Tires and Griots and those guys. And a lot of other great big sponsors. But we're going to continue to start heading towards more of a festival type idea, which is basically to get people out for multiple days for multiple different kinds of shows, right? StanceWars will be the headliner. Just like when you go to a concert, you're going for... God knows who you're going for, but you have a headliner and then you have somebody who has an opening act and that kind of stuff. Well, for car shows, we're going to start out Saturday night strong with StanceWars, and then on Sundays we're probably going to move into some of our other shows that we own, right? It's probably like Old School and Sophisticated Euro are definitely coming on tour with us next year. One, because I'm a huge Euro fan, but two, I love Old School Reunion, and it really makes sense because everyone has these classics that are kind of orphaned out there. And so that totally makes sense for us to do more, move towards that kind of thing. So, anyways, Houston map is going to really expand that capability. Also, it gives us a lot better area to do some things. One of the things that I'd love to talk about for just 2 seconds is H2OI. Some of the madness and stuff, hey, everybody likes to have a good time, but there's a point at which it's over the top. And sometimes I've seen some of that stuff. And one of the things that I noticed is, even in Seattle, if we get to have too much rowdiness in a densely populated area, there can be a lot of problem. A lot of times when you go to a really huge show, it's a little better that they're a little outside the town. So that's one of the reasons too that in Houston we moved to Conroe, is we're not in downtown. Downtown had horrible streets, along with all the problems that we had at Minute Maid. But, the great thing about this is it makes it a little bit cheaper to come to the event. There are a lot more hotels around. Also, we're a lot closer to Lake Conroe, which means there is resort properties that we could be at. And it gives the opportunity for someone to come and rent a house. There are houses on Lake Conroe that sleep 30 people. So if you want to come for a multi-day event, that's the kind of situation that we need to start heading towards. So it's just thinking about planning. That's all it comes down to. It's just about planning and what we need to do for that. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about for the big map for Houston. Houston is November 18th. We're really excited to come back for our second year there. November 18th, we're going to be at the Lone Star Expo Center. It's in Conroe, Texas. It's just about 25 minutes north of Houston, or 20 minutes north of the actual airport. It's kind of more of an area I'm familiar with. If you guys don't remember, I used to work for Compact Computer, which you guys would know. Let's see, I don't know, they've been around for a while. They turned into HP Computer. So, and they're north of north of Houston. And I probably went every month for multiple years to that area. So it's a little bit more familiar area for me, which is even nicer. So before the weekend, we had DriftCon, and you know, I was pretty sick over the weekend, which is really horrible because I didn't film anything, I didn't post anything, I didn't go on Instagram, I didn't do anything. The only thing that we had, I know, going on is we were running Snapchat and we were running Instagram over from Gatlinburg, over at Sherilyn's show, Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. Out in Seattle, there's a great show. It's called DriftCon. It's put on by my friend Matt, who runs Import Meat, and he also has DriftCon. And he has like an early show and a late show, and this happened to be the late show. And it's called DriftCon After Dark. It's really great. It's a lot of drifting. It's a great little car show. It's a great little all-over great event over in Monroe at Evergreen Speedway, Evergreen Drift. And, you know, those are really, it's a really fun event. And one of the things I really enjoy about working with Matt is he really wants to work with other people in the industry and really try and better his events and really take some feedback. And that's one of the things that I really value with working with Matt. So we've worked really, really well together, and I pretty much would do just about anything for Matt, you know. The weather for the weekend was looking pretty poor, and, you know, one of the things that sucks about poor weather in the Northwest is that it means it's probably going to rain. Now, when it rains, it's not the end of the world. If you're from anywhere else besides Seattle, when it rains here, you would call it sprinkling. It just sprinkles all damn day. It never really rains very hard. Well, at DriftCon, it sprinkled here and there, and we were renting out our stage and our sound equipment to Matt. Well, one of the problems with that is if it's going to rain, it can be kind of a bad deal. And our stage right now is not really all weather, unfortunately. It's really designed for warm weather. We have a new stage that's going to be coming soon, but this current stage, it's designed for really just perfect weather. So I was a little bit concerned about that. We have enough sound equipment where we have equipment that we can be used in the wet and that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I knew Matt really wanted was our big truss structure setup. He usually does like a 20 by 20 table over the stage with lights, and because it's a nighttime event, it doesn't usually end till about 10 o'clock at night. We need lights for the last 3 hours and that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, with the weather, I had to break the news early to Matt that probably wasn't going to happen, and I felt kind of bad about it because, you know, it's a presence of a show when you can't do a couple of these different aspects. And I know that was hard for Matt to hear, but, you know, the reality is it's just not safe for my guys. It's not safe for, I mean, you go, what do you mean it's raining? It's not that big a deal. It's just some equipment. It's not safe for the guys when they go to put the stuff away. And here's why. You go to a car show and you're there 10, 12 hours, and at the end of the night, we got to lift a whole lot of heavy equipment around, and that's hard. And when it's wet and slick, it's really scary. Our trussing goes in the very top of our truck, so when you're up there, you're about 14 feet off the ground, lifting a 120-pound aluminum truss structure piece into the back of the truck, and you're standing on a little skinny ledge to try and do it. It's actually quite scary. And our stage pieces, the current ones we have, why we're getting a new one, each one of them was about 600 pounds. And when you run them up the ramp, it's already hard to do when it's dry. So we need about 4 people when we're doing it when it's wet, and it's still scary. In fact, that night, 2 of them actually tipped over when they were loading them. And, I mean, if you got hit underneath of that, I mean, you'd break a leg or an arm or some shit like that. It's happened. It's came close to happening a couple times. So, you know, it kind of sucks. But I did shoot some quick video of us taking the truck and my brother-in-law. It was raining that night, and I'm kind of a wussy driver. So on Friday, I asked my brother-in-law to run the truck up. Well, it's Friday, and we're getting ready to go to DriftCon. And Joe, my brother-in-law, is going to be driving for me today. I just don't have time to do it, and it's kind of poor weather and a lot of traffic, and so it's a smarter choice to have a professional driver who has a CDL to drive in that kind of thing. So I'm going to let him drive. It only cost me a Mexican dinner, so it's not a bad deal for me. But one more step to getting things done. We'll be out of DriftCon over the weekend, so that's going to be pretty awesome. It's one of the biggest events here in the Northwest. They do 2 events. One is in the spring and then one is in the fall. This is the last big show of the year here in Seattle. and it's drifting, and it's a car show, and it's just a hell of a good time. It's put on at night. Usually it's a little chilly, so it's definitely hoodie weather. And, well, I'm going to let you guys go. We'll talk to you soon. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. It's Tuesday. I got a lot of things to do. My mind's a little busy with a couple of things. And, you know, I was trying to end with a quick story. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is, one, you know, give that girlfriend, your mom or your dad, or, you know, maybe you got a kid or something, give them a little hug, because it seems like the world's changing a lot lately. And it's kind of sad. So the other thing that happened yesterday is that Tom Petty passed away. And if you're a younger guy, you probably have no fucking clue who Tom Petty is. If you're an older guy, you know exactly who Tom Petty is. And it sucks for me because my wife is a huge Tom Petty fan. In fact, one of the things that's been really great over the last several years is that I've been able to send her to a lot of Tom Petty concerts with her friends and stuff. It hurts for me because I never took her to one. So that kind of sucks. But you know, he's got some great music, and if you get a chance, listen to some Tom Petty music, and you'll understand. In fact, I actually sent Sally and her best friend to Tom Petty beginning of summer. I think I was in Portland for a show. I actually sent her to a show. Or no, Tom Petty was in Portland and she went to a show. I don't know. I lead such a busy lifestyle. So, hey, if you got a question or a comment or something like that, let me drop my email address right here. It's mike@happenstanceevents.com. I'm happy to take any of that. You know, I'm just a phone call away. Sometimes it's kind of fun. Right here's the company phone. It's right at my desk. And this phone number is available. Don't call me all the time. Don't call me at 3 in the morning. The phone does have quiet periods on it. But it is interesting to talk to people who purchase tickets or have questions. They're like, who is this? And I'm like, oh, it's Mike Tolliver. They're like, no, this isn't Mike Tolliver. No, it really is. I actually do answer the phone. But I'm going to let you guys have a great week. And think about the tragedy and the loss. And start thinking about 2018. Because after November, we'll have SEMA. And then we're going to be working really hard for you in 2018 to come up with some new stuff. In fact, we have some new announcements I'd love to make. But I'm not going to break this news for a few more months about some of the things that we have for 2018. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, hey, take a second and hit shop.stancewars.com and keep me employed and keep my interns with something to do. We'll talk to you soon. And remember that the Black Friday sale's coming.